Lesnar quickly with Kofi Kingston and an F5 and F5 by Lesnar. Here's the cover. We got a new champion.
And with hello everybody, and welcome back to the Yu Yu Hakusho arc reviews. I'm doing something a little different here because it's not just me talking about these. Oh no, there's somebody else I know that really likes this series for some odd reason. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself as the good sir that he thinks he is.
I don't think I'm that much of a good person. I am a fan of this anime we're watching. Sonic the Fighters I think it's a great anime, and I think everyone should give it a chance here. But no, in all seriousness, Yu Yu Hakusho, I think it's probably my favorite shonen story ever. Right up there with the original Dragon Ball, right up there with, like the early parts of Naruto that really hit with you, especially with Bleach. Call me old-fashioned, but, Yu Yu Hakusho is something that it is very near and dear to my heart. So, Watkins, I just want to thank you for even considering bringing me on for this very special review here.
Well, I wanted to bring back the arc reviews for these, and you know what? I decided that this needs to be shared with somebody. This needs to be shared with all besides the unmeasurable void that is the internet. So why not share in the gloriness? Because so this is my third time going through the series in my life, and
yes.
this is my go through of it, realizing that it's a masterpiece. So. Yeah, as you know, with my arc reviews, I try to find 5 things I didn't like and 5 things I liked. Well, this is the problem with something like Yu Yu Hakusho. There's not a lot of things you don't like.
Yep. Even in the early stuff.
Even in the early stuff. So, coming up with things I didn't like is kind of hard. So, as we'll see with this arc, there was not a lot of stuff that I didn't like. One of them's actually kind of a meme, so a very nitpicky meme, but whatever. So, the arc we are talking about right now is the 4 Saint Beast arc. And for a rough, stupid synopsis of this arc, there are these 4 beings that call themselves the Saint Beast for some reason. And it's up to Yusuke to stop them. And he has his best friend Kuwabara, and then Hiei and Kurama are there, and they fight, and they beat him, and then Keiko finds out everything, and that's the arc. End of story. Rough synopsis, but whatever. So, starting with things I didn't like in this arc, and Trevor, you can blast me and, cancel me on Twitter for all this.
All right, I'll open up the app. Give me 1 second. By the way, Watkins, I do want to let you know that the Saint Beasts are called the Saint Beasts because they're infamous thieves that ran through Spirit World, and they hid in May's castle, hiding above all the monsters. So that's why they're called Saint Beasts, you silly fool. But no, please continue.
We'll get to the Saint Beast soon enough. My first thing. This is the joke nitpick that I have. How the hell can how the hell can Koema see everything? Where are his cameras? Are they like little flies? And not only him, but Suzaku later on can see everything happening in the real world like it's fucking cameras. Do they have the Blu-rays of everything? The DVDs? What the fuck is this?
I wouldn't even say Suzaku has like a Blu-ray because like anytime you look at Suzaku looking at his like magic mirror, it's nothing but static.
Fine, VHS tapes. It's the 90s after all.
Demonic VHS tapes. The only difference is that each tape has like a pair of devil horns on it.
But can you explain this to me, Trevor? Am I missing something? Can I not read? I am not getting the details that I need.
So, this is the return of meme. So, Tagashi wanted to make a scenario where he wanted to exploit Yusuke's teenager rebellion and link it to his emotions to, pull through and get a win. So, he needed some way to make Yusuke show that he wants to fight for Keiko, and the only way to do that is show Keiko in danger. And we will get to that more in detail, don't you worry. But yeah, that's why Tagashi decided to make I'm just going to have Keiko randomly endangered by Suzaku, so I'm going to make him have magic mirrors. And Koenma, all I have is, he has... I can't defend this shit. I can only think he has, these, spirit cameras, or, they're, hundreds of years ago, some random person died, but they were, a fortune teller on Earth, so they made, these spirit crystal balls or some shit. No.
That's the only thing I can think of. It's like Baba's crystal ball, only it's a TV.
And I can't wait for us to be yeah, by the way, there's a reason why Koenma has a fucking pacifier, but there's no explanation for why there's cameras in the spirit world.
Yeah, but I mean, it could just be the thing. Like I just said, it could be a crystal ball kind of deal. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I want answers, Trevor. I need my details. I need everything detailed to me so I know how everything works.
Have you ever tried the word magic? It's wonderful.
Yes, I have, actually.
I forgot you're a connoisseur of magic.
Yes. Magic and friendship. The magic of friendship.
Oh my god, that does win the arc. Holy fucking shit. But at least it's written in a very competent way.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, this is like a jokey entry kind of thing. I might piss you off with the next one, because the next and actually final one of the thing I didn't like in this arc.
Oh no, we're gonna have a problem.
It's not okay. It's not the fact. Let me explain myself. It's not the fact that I didn't like them, but besides Suzaku, they're all scrubs.
Actually, to be fair, yeah.
Okay, and we'll talk about this actually with my next point, which is actually when we get to the stuff that I liked in this arc. Two of them get jobbed easily. Low to no diff jobbed. And then the other two lost to humans, which, fine, fair. They had more of a struggle, whatever. But 3 out of the 4 of them, come on. You get hyped up being these saint beasts and being these entities where it's a danger if they get out, and yet they amount to nothing. Oh, nope. Bad cat. Well, there's my next point anyways. My cat.
Wait, things you liked or things you didn't like?
Things I liked.
Okay.
We'll get to that next time. My cat decided she wanted to move on to the point. See, even my cat agrees that these 4 saint beasts are nothing. They are trash.
Foolish cat.
We are
going
trash.
to talk about every one of these saint beasts for the next 4 hours, and you can't stop us. Welcome to a new live stream.
Which one do you want to start with? How about
I do want to actually comment on one thing. There is something there's one little thing that unfortunately that Yu Yu Hakusho does not exactly age with. And you can especially tell this at the beginning. Some of the humor does not fly nowadays. And comedy is subjective. Yeah. Comedy is subjective, but unfortunately it's upon every rewatch, it's that dialogue just kind of doesn't feel right. The joke nature of some of them, it's just is this the way to pad out time? Can we focus on something? It depends. And it's really with Koenma, the scenes with Koenma in this arc specifically, they're just kind of oh, all right, we're on Koenma. All right, it's time for a laugh, I guess. Maybe I will laugh, but I like it better when the comedy is focused on with not Botan or Keiko, because that's like the actual serious part, but like Yusuke's one-liners and Kuwabara and Hiei's constant struggle at each other's throats and Kurama being the mom of the whole group. That's where like the comedy just that shit's timeless. But things with Koenma are just like, oh, well, we got time to kill. I can check Twitter in the meantime.
Yep.
I already saw this series 5 times now.
I'm just like, oh, Koenma, great. You're doing something. What's so yeah, which one of these 4? Because like, I do like Suzaku as a villain. Like he's all right. Yeah, he's all right, especially compared to these other 3.
Yeah, like unfortunately, the only thing Suzaku brings to the table is like if it was not for his power, he would be listed off as a random jobber. He is the only member of this group that accurately shows, oh, so that's how tough, like that's why you're the leader of the 4 Saint Beasts. That's why you're pretty infamous. You're pretty tough. Honestly, if you were in the Dark Tournament, Suzaku, you would probably like reach semifinal, dare I say final, but against you know who, I don't think you're gonna go that far.
And that's the thing, like Suzaku's what, at least for me, Suzaku is one of those ones I imagine would be a Saint Beast.
Yeah, that's the only reason why, you know, he's like even worth considering remembering. Like you remember his name perfectly.
Yeah.
I remember, like, here's the thing. I remember Genbu because, just for me personally, Kurama's fight is actually just one of the most engaging here. I really like what Kurama did with Genbu, but that's the only reason why. It's just like an ass hand. And Byakuo, I only remember because Kuwabara just keeps yelling his name, and Byakuo just keeps yelling his name. And then there's Shiryu, and then he's just like, I am Shiryu. I shall be low gifted. It's 3 seconds and 2 seconds in the manga. Fear me.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like the only other one I can think of being a Saint Beast is Byakuo, and I would see him being what Genbu's job was, which was the first line of defense.
Yeah, and Genbu's like they're good. They're good at their job, but unfortunately, they do kind of fall flat. However, I will defend Genbu's honor a little here as a character. True. He said, "Oh my god." Well, his personality is one of a rock. but in all seriousness, it's like considering his opponent was Kurama. Kurama is how to compare? It'd be like fighting Shikamaru. You just don't expect like you don't expect like a really interesting fight, but Kurama has one of like my favorite fights in this entire arc. It's Kurama's just great. He's just a fantastic character. He works off of anyone. It's great.
Yeah, and then I'm sorry, I always forget Ice Dude's name.
Oh, Shiryu, the ice dragon or blue dragon, depending on what your source is.
I always remember that he is voiced by the same guy who voices Super Boo because of the yells, and I recognize the yells every time I watch this. I'm just like, oh look, there's Super Boo.
Wait, Justin Cook voiced Shiryu?
I want to say yes. It sounds
because that's Yu Yu Hakusho.
It sounds very familiar.
That's. Oh my god, yeah. No, dude, that's Yusuke too. Yusuke voices Shiryu.
Oh yeah. I know that's Yusuke, but like I can hear more Super Boo when I'm hearing Blue Ice Dragon yell and then get cut up by Hiei very easily.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
And like this is the thing with Yu Yu Hakusho, like I say I don't like these things, but that's like saying I don't like sprinkles on my ice cream, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like, it's like you're not expecting these like these heavily fleshed out characters. You're not really. You don't need a novel written on them. It's not Game of Thrones where you don't need to know their entire backstory. These are villains. They're kind of like JoJo villains in a way. They're there. They have a purpose. They got their goal. Clash with the heroes. Yeah,
I just kind of wish I got we got a little bit more with Bianco, when he fought Kuwabara. But I kind of wish they were a little more like Suzaku, but whatever. I guess you can't get everything that you want.
Yeah, it would kind of suck though if I feel like Higashi was kind of like maybe he faced a little writer's dilemma, because it would be so easy to have like every single battle be Suzaku levels of danger where everyone just like starts losing, like they get fatally injured just to win. Kurama got like, you know, one solid wound, but that was to get the win, so that's fine.
Yeah,
Bianco was just Kuwabara. Well, we'll talk more about that fight because that was a highlight. But
we will.
That cost Kuwabara a little too. Hiei is much like 17 in Dragon Ball Super. Hiei was kind of like the MVP of the whole arc. You didn't really expect, like, he's not going to do that much. He's going to be in the same boat as ever. Oh, he already killed him.
Yep. Oh, well, there goes his head. Okay.
And then, you know, Suzaku, main character struggle. It's not like, not the fight, I wouldn't even say is, it's not amazing, because it's not like there's choreography. It's not like it's like a highly detailed showdown. It's just like a clash of spirit energy and how they use it. So, you know, it's fine. You know, just don't expect like these masterpieces of characters, or don't expect the stakes to be too high, but they still have to be dangerous.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's enough of things I didn't like. I like to start these episodes with things I don't like so we can end on a positive note. But let's move on, kind of talking about what we talked about with two of these guys. We have Kurama and Hiei, which is now we're into stuff that I absolutely love. So we can dive a little deeper into all this. So we have Hiei and Kurama in here. Not only that, but the fact that they no-diffed two of these quote-unquote Saint Beasts. Like, Kurama, as you were saying, you know, he took a little bit of damage, but that was to get the win. And then Hiei, he barely tried and got his win.
It was amazing. Their fight is... The fights they're pretty good. I definitely like Kurama's fight a little bit more, because his opponent was Genbu, and it's for you One Piece fans, imagine Kurama versus Pika. One Piece, just Rosta. Except I think like the power has a much cooler explanation, where Genbu can separate himself. He can do anything with stone, but there is like this glowing red rock, like a weak point from a Star Fox game. There's that red weak point. You just gotta push through the damage to get to it, but it's like responsible for the formation of the rock. He's responsible for all his powers. Like, that's a really cool detail. And how Kurama works around that is great. I wouldn't even call it a fight. It's more like he dodged 3 attacks and then slice the end. But what works for them so much is the interactions they have. Kurama is the mother of the group. You know, he's the wisest. He reels everyone together if they're about to separate, if Yusuke can't do it, but Hiei. Hiei's banter with Kuwabara and like comments on everything.
So great.
It's perfect. It's like, yes, give me more. I think it was... and remember, that's why I'm defended the honor of Genbu a little, because Hiei does say that's because Kurama was the one fighting. If you or you would have died in under a minute.
That's actually what I was going to lead into. So I think my favorite thing about these two fights is you have Hiei talking up Kurama a lot. Just like what you said, he literally says the only reason we won like this is because it was Kurama fighting. And the fact that we even get told with their first introduction when they were all together in a group, we find out that's why Hiei tried to get Kurama on his side, because he didn't want to fight Kurama at all, because he knew if he did, Kurama would kill him immediately. And the kind of same thing happens with Hiei's fight. Kurama's like, look, I only saw the first attack you did, and Kuwabara didn't see shit. And then Yusuke's like, I could only see like 7 to 8, and it was like 16 slices he did on the guy.
Yeah.
So like you get all this hype from these two that we kind of saw prior, but now we're just getting even more and more of it. And I love that so much because I also really love Kurama. Like I love his character so much. And
yeah.
Oh
man, it's always like a struggle. Every rewatch that I do, it's funny because like on my first watch through as a kid, I was always on the Hiei side. It's like, oh my god, Hiei's so badass.
Well,
cool.
He's the badass.
Yeah, and then it's like upon the rewatches, every time I'm like, you know what, Kurama, let's go. It's just like he's just this. Everyone in Yu Yu Hakusho, like on the hero side, they get these very, very well written, well explored motivations, well explored backstories. Their writing is stupendous. And then it like as an adult, it makes me realize like, wow, Kurama has like kind of a more complete life than the other three, with the bare exception of Hiei. Like they are a set. You cannot go one great character without another. It's oh my god, I love these two. They're my favorite characters in this entire story, aside from Yusuke. It's just like yes.
Well, none of them can hold a candle to my favorite character.
Is it Botan?
Oh no, she's my favorite female character. But
okay.
we'll get to my favorite character at another point.
It's me. It's the elder Tagalo, isn't it, Baron?
Damn, how do you know?
I know everything, Baron.
Yes. But yes, more Kurama and Hiei is always great. We can talk more about them and all their other hijinks when they happen in the series. But the next point we have, speaking of Botan, badass Botan.
Wait a second. What do you mean? What does it mean, Watkins? What does the mean? I think I understand, but you could probably have like 3 interpretations of it.
Okay, first of all, hear me out. So, on the action side, Botan is pretty badass in this arc. She's using this bug spray from the spirit world to take care of the Makai insects. Great. Awesome. And then she's like battering these zombie humans and these lower level demons. Like she literally takes a bat and uses her mirror communicator to hit it from behind. So that's badass. She helps Keiko survive. And plus, look at that outfit. That outfit's pretty badass.
Yeah, no, that like I've admitted on Twitter before, but like Botan during this arc as a kid, my first anime crush. I'm not gonna lie, and I have no shame in saying that.
Don't have any shame. I mean, that's why I have this meme here. Like, I mean, damn, look at that. Okay, anyways, Botan was pretty badass in this. She was pretty badass in this arc, and yeah, I don't think she gets more badass than this arc though. In the series,
no, unfortunately not. But well, it's like her main action roles were support for Keiko to help her avoid the army of monsters that are gunning for her, especially near the end, because like she's the main target because of Zaku. Mm-hmm. But Botan, she's a pretty good protector. I really liked her, and I liked her interactions with Keiko. It's like she never talks down to her. It's like this defenseless human child.
Yeah, she's always like, oh, that's the Keiko I know. And
it's
Keiko's
like, you're very
I don't know you.
Oh, you don't have to, sweetheart. Just follow me and you won't be eaten by the army of demons.
Yep.
He's like very focused, but very supportive. Yeah, she's focused, but she's supportive. I love Botan. Again, every rewatch reminds me of why I love these characters.
Mm-hmm. But I wanted to highlight that because, I mean, yeah, people will talk about Botan, but like this is actually like an arc where she does a lot more than just the typical support.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, can I actually list a thing that I did not like during this?
Oh no! Yes,
It's
go
not
ahead.
about it's not about Botan. Don't you worry. She's fine. She's
Okay,
good. She's fine. However, I will say I kind of I keep phasing this out of my head. But unfortunately, Kuwabara trying to flirt with Botan is kind of just like, oh no.
Oh no. Okay, hold on. First of all, I would rather Kuwabara flirt with Botan than Yukina. I'm just going to throw that out. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm just going to throw. Yukina looks like a 12-year-old.
But Kuwabara, again, I would much rather Kuwabara be with someone else other than Botan. It felt awkward.
That's fine if he ends up with Yukina, whatever. But I don't know. I'd rather the Botan love than the Yukina love. But that's just me. I might be biased.
That's just me. Feelings are subjective.
yeah. That's just bias talking.
It kind of relates back to that joke and humor, you know. Some of it nowadays just feels awkward. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And that's we can talk about Yukina at a later date.
Yeah, best character, best waifu. I'm kidding.
Damn right you're gonna be kidding. When the best one is right there, how could you say that, Trevor? She's right there. The best is right there.
I don't see Itsuki on the screen. I don't see old Genkai on the screen, damn you. Put up the best waifu.
Oh my god. I swear. Mistakes were made. But to move on to the next point, what? Oh, sorry. Hold on. There's a goat here. I don't know why Yusuke? Wait, sorry. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. I kind of got mixed up. They kind of look the same.
You cheeky motherfucker.
No, hear me out. Fucking Kuwabara he's my favorite character in the series. There it is right there. I think he's the best character in the series. And this is not going to be the first time or the last time that I'm going to gush about Kuwabara. I love him. He's great.
You know what? Yeah, and I'm old school. Where Yusuke is my favorite character in the series, immediately followed by Kurama and Hiei. But that's like centimeters apart. They're fantastic characters. But yeah, I don't think Kuwabara is my favorite character, but he's definitely up there. And you can I can easily see why people would call him an absolute favorite. He's probably like right behind Genkai for me, right behind her.
And that's the thing. Like Kuwabara in this arc, he fights one of the Saint Beasts, Byakuya, and he has like two different rounds with him, and two like very drastic rounds. So the first one ends up being like a horde battle he has to fight against like these monsters he sets out. And then Kuwabara like gives him his spirit energy and makes him blow up. Well, quote unquote blow up. And then he fights him above magma and ends up punching him and tossing him into the magma. Like, and he almost fell in too because of that. So my thing with Kuwabara this arc is he's the human character in here. He's the weakest of the bunch, but he's not backing down from anything. He even says that nobody helped me because I need to do this. Because he knew that he needed to do something to prove himself to be there. Because he said, I'll be there and help your messy goo. And he proved it. He keeps proving it time and time again. He got better with his spirit sword to the point where he turned it into a pole. Yeah. And he has his comedy moments where he tried to do that on the castle wall and slammed into it.
That was hilarious. How he's like, there's still a horde in front of him. He tries the javelin approach or the pole vault approach, crashes on the wall, and immediately after he does that, Kurama's like, Kuwabara, and then he's like, the room's already cleared, you idiot. Let's go. I'll take around.
He's okay.
Oh my god!
I like Kuwabara.
I do too. He's great. I think I finally figured out like you know how I always try to like I try to do the analogy of like he's this character and this character fused together, and I think I finally have after like 5 rewatches of this entire series so far. I think I finally have a good kind of like good premise analogy for someone who's never watched this show before or never read the manga. He's like if Vegeta and Sanji came together because you have the pride of the Saiyans in Kuwabara, like the pride of a man, the pride of a warrior, but you also have the passion of Sanji in terms of like love life, in terms of just like it, you know, just the friendships in general. Very passionate, but very, very prideful at the same time.
Okay, I think I could kind of see that.
It's very hard to give these characters like oh it's like this character and this character merging together because Tagashi's characters are fucking iconic for a reason.
Yeah.
They are kind of like the backbone for what amazing characters are created from. It's the same thing with that Oda did with Dragon Ball. He took a lot of inspirations from Toriyama's Goku and put it into Luffy. That's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just there's a lot of inspirations, and Kakashi's characters are legendary.
Well, that's why, like in today now, the series Jujutsu Kaisen, you can tell that the creator of that he takes a lot of Tagashi inspiration.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like the power system is a lot like Nen from Hunter x Hunter. And there's just like there's a lot of homages to like Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. And yeah, so and that's the thing, like, and that's what's hard, like especially with older characters like this, it's hard to kind of be like, okay, well they're like this character and this character if they fused and had a baby and the baby grew up with them and you know shit like that. But yeah, I mean, Kuwabara, he tries. He may not win all the time, and he may complain some, but I mean, who wouldn't in his position?
Yeah, as a human, like, and when we get to the Dark Tournament, this kind of character growth, or you know, like his interactions with everyone are. They're great. The only thing that sucks is his track record.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, I don't want to talk more about the series, but like, if there's one thing I could just add a little bit more of in the series as a whole, is maybe a couple more wins for Kuwabara. Like,
yeah, I think I got the idea where Tagashi was going from, and you know, at the start, you know. He kind of has to be like the runner-up to Yusuke, but he still has his moments. That's why, you know, like his fight with Byakuya is technically the most dangerous one aside from Yusuke, because Yusuke had to pull out his own life energy, but Kuwabara was just about in the same situation.
yeah.
But yeah. Fuck, I just lost my train of thought. Shit.
Tagashi does that.
Goddamn! I'm just looking at all this greatness. I have all like the episodes pulled up in front of me too. Just
nice.
Yeah, I'm all ready to dive into this whatever topic that comes up. But yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh, now I remember. Yeah, Kuwabara may not have like the best track record, but that makes his wins all the more memorable. And I think that helps when you think of characters like Byakuya and Toguro and Waterman down the road. Fuck, can't remember his name, but who gives a shit? We're fucking Fourth Saint Beast.
Oh yeah, the Fourth Saint Beast. Yeah, but yeah, Kuwabara did well. Jokester. Oh, his chemistry with the group too. Like, first of all, he treats Yusuke like a twin brother, and
which
then
is great.
You say you know Kurama's the mother of the group. I'd almost say he's like the older sister, the kind older sister for Kuwabara.
Yeah,
and then Hiei is the adopted stepchild of his weird family that I'm creating.
I think my favorite line between Hiei and
Kuwabara is when they're at the gates of betrayal. If we're going to talk more detail about the story elements, we will get to them. I do want to say that at the gate of betrayal, when Hiei goes to the switch and Hiei hesitates, and Kuwabara's like, "Get back here! Come here, you mouse!"
Yep.
But I do like how to go back to the absolute Kurama love, because you did bring it up. Did you notice that no one, not ever, disagrees with Kurama? No one.
Oh no, yeah, everyone goes with what Kurama says
Because that's what you do.
Yeah,
just what you do.
Yeah, that's why I compare him to, like, you say the mother, I say the kind older sister.
True.
Because
no,
whenever
Chizuru.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, so, like, I don't know, I like Kuwabara a lot. But you wanted to talk more in detail about some stuff? What well, unless it's the next topic.
Well, like, it just depends. I don't know what you got here in our presentation for now. Yeah, I'm sure we can come down to it. You know, we got a lot of room to talk about.
Oh, of course. Well, the fourth part is actually this.
Ooh.
So I'm actually titling this Yusuke's growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, okay, here's the thing. So, like we said earlier, this isn't really like your big blown out fight, like, with all this choreography. It's basically oh my god, I almost said spiritual pressure.
Save it for when we do blade swappings. Just wait.
Oh. But this is just like a clash of spirit. God, I almost did it.
Powers.
Again. Spirit powers.
Yeah.
Spirit powers. But that's not, for me. This isn't what this fight was about, because this is the first fight that Yusuke, like the first serious fight that Yusuke has after his first training with Genkai, which we see some of that too, like the typical flashback thing. But this is, with Yusuke's growth, I don't mean just his physical growth. It's also like his own personal growth, because throughout the fight, he's figuring out, why does he care? Why does he care so much that Keiko is getting attacked? Why does he care so much that his friends are fighting off these fake humans, these cultivated humans, I think they called it. Why does he care? Why care? And he comes
to
fight. Yeah, why fight? Why do I fight? Why am I trying to just save everyone? And he's remembering back to these fights, and then he's remembering his mom crying at the funeral. And he keeps going back and forth between, like, when he was dying and when he's fighting. And he realizes that the reason that he cares so much is because if he's gone, like, everybody in his life needs him in some way, shape, or form. Not just to be like this perfect son or to be this perfect boyfriend or whatever. They need him in his life for different reasons, and that is what he's protecting. And that is one of the reasons that he is fighting. And he finally figures it out in this fight. You know, he's not just being some punk fighting on the street. He's not just doing some job now. He's fighting to protect those that he cares about. And with that, he learns that he can only do that if he is alive. And that is why he wants to stay alive. And that is why he fights. And he finds that out in this fight.
It's so good. And I'm getting my little, not even like a tirade, because that includes negativity. I'm getting my Charlie Chaplin dictator USA speech at the ready, because my God, I'm not the guy that usually goes for themes, but I'm gonna go for it this time.
Do it.
All right. I'm literally standing for this. All right, everyone. Uncle Trevi is gonna teach you all some cool things about this little old fight. Like Walken said, it's not the most detailed fight. It's not like the most choreographed shit. You're not gonna get Obi-Wan versus Anakin Skywalker from Episode 3 levels of choreograph. It's never been about that. It's literally just like Yusuke has two weapons in his arsenal. spear gun, and then the newly developed shotgun after training with Genkai. Suzaku, on the other hand, has fucking lightning. I don't care if Yusuke brought in a fucking spirit tank, spirit bazooka. That shit doesn't do much against fucking lightning. And even early on in their fight, when Yusuke tried the rubber soles off of his shoes, that shit exploded.
Yes.
he was outclassed. This was Luffy versus Katakuri before Luffy versus Katakuri was even considered a fucking thing.
Damn.
That's what screamed to me. Is like, I like where this is going. My cat is rubbing against my legs because she knows how good of a fight this is. Good girl. Anyway. So later, and here's the thing: throughout the whole Four Saint Beast arc, we see Yusuke not really change that much. He spent 6 months with Genkai, this legend, this being that in the human world and in spirit world is someone to be feared because, if you go with her, you master your own self, you master spirit energy, which is a huge deal, especially later on in the story. Holy fuck, the implications of her training are, my God. Does training with her really, it's like Elder Kai. He brings out your inner potential.
Yep.
So, 6 months with her. And apparently that wasn't even the whole training as we learned for the Dark Tournament, but ignore that shit for now. Stop your YouTube comment. So when Yusuke comes back, he doesn't really change. And the only thing he has to show was his shotgun. And everyone's like, oh, what a neat, unique new move. What else you got? What else do you bring to the table? Because you can't have just spent 6 months with a teacher and just be done. No. Oh, no. So when Suzaku is literally, when he clones himself, that's the power he has, everyone. Suzaku can clone himself. Man. It's a broken move. It is absolutely broken. As broken as his fucking lightning attack.
Yeah.
I will talk about that more. But as Yusuke is being tortured, one of the best scenes plays. And I'm not talking about one of the best scenes in the whole arc. I'm talking about one of the best scenes in the whole series. Starts playing. Where Genkai reaches out to Yusuke through telepathy. And she's like, what are you doing, you idiot? Why are you losing to this? And Yusuke's like, get out of my head, you bitch! A direct quote, by the way.
Yep, exactly. I was just going to say, he literally is just like, get the fuck out of my head, you bitch.
And it's just this amazing scene. In fact, I want everyone, after this is over, go onto YouTube, go in that search bar, look up Yusuke motivational speech or Genkai motivational speech. It's 3 to 4 minutes. It's nothing but greatness because it can actually relate to anyone. Because Genkai, you get to see Yusuke's training. He has a lot of untapped spirit potential. There's a lot of potential in this boy. And it's fantastic because it's a really good precursor to everything that's to come in the series. However, it also relates to what Tagashi's trying to point out, teenage rebellion. People quit oftentimes with the answers not handed to them on a silver platter. And that shows in Yusuke's character. If things aren't straight, if things are just a little bit complex, he throws it aside. He's like, I don't give a shit. And again, Kai's like, whoa, that thinking won't get you far in life or in battle. It's time you bit the bullet and you poured in something with all your heart and energy. Think of something, someone. Keiko, for instance.
Yeah.
And that's when Yusuke realizes, it's like, oh, okay, I'm fighting for these people. I already let them down once. I can't let them down again. I'm already on borrowed time, as he said directly to Suzaku.
Yeah.
Because he kind of is. And then you get to see Yusuke, it's the first evidence where you get to see there's a lot of untapped spirit potential in Yusuke, but it's all kept in by, these teenager emotions, which is great. I think Yusuke is one of the only shonen protagonists that deserves to be a teenager, because some of the other ones, they deserve to be fucking adults with all the shit they spew out.
Oh no, that's the best. That's the best thing about Tagashi's writing, and especially with somebody like Yusuke, he gets what being a teenager is like. The only thing nowadays that I can think of that comes close to this is My Hero Academia.
Yeah, and it's like with Naruto, the whole talk no jutsu is able to like convince even the most die-hard of terrorists to reform their ways. That should not be like a power a 16-year-old has. And I would even say the same thing about Luffy. I think he's way too young to be doing all this shit. I think he deserves to be a little bit older. It's okay to have your main character be a bit older.
Yeah.
Look at Rurouni Kenshin, for God's sake. He's 28, and he's one of the best characters I've seen in a long fucking time. But Yusuke, as you said in Walk-Ins, Yusuke nails what being a teenager is like, because that's why I keep egging on to everyone. Watch that Genkai motivational speech in its full entirety, and you're probably going to be reminded, oh my God, yeah, I was like as a teenager. Fuck!
Yeah, but see, and that's such the beauty. That's the beauty of Yusuke's character. Like, and trust me, everybody, this is not going to be the first or last time. Well, this is the first time, but it won't be the last time that we gush about Yusuke as a character, especially in this way.
Just you wait till Tagore and Sensei gets me, motherfuckers. Just you fucking wait.
Oh, he called him Tagoro Sensei. Oh shit.
Oh, I'm gonna have a field day with Sensei and Yomi too.
Yes.
Oh, just you wait. If you thought I was standing yelling before, just you all fucking wait. I got so much shit to say.
But like, yeah, again, that's just the beauty of it, because we know Yusuke to be this rebellious teenager. And we find out in this early part of the story why he's so rebellious, because he feels like he doesn't belong anywhere, that nobody wants him anywhere, and nobody wants him around or cares that he is or isn't around. And then when he dies, we get all that story. And then here we're seeing, Genkai pushing him to be like, you need to find, just like what you were saying, you need to find something that'll motivate you, because you're a lazy piece of shit. As soon as something is hard, you decide just to quit and run away from it. You need to find something that is worth fighting for, and you need to keep that thing. And what does that thing end up being? It ends up being Keiko. It ends up being his posse, and kind of his mom a little bit, even though she's kind of a piece of shit. It's still his mom. It's like, it's shit like that. And that's what makes this so great. And that's actually what makes this a really good fight, because it's not about the techniques being used. I mean, hell, another thing is, well, we'll talk about the physical aspects of change in a minute, but like, again, this isn't like some big choreographed, I'm going to use this technique and this technique and that technique and that technique. No. Fucking Suzaku uses, 2 to 3 techniques, and then he has his parrot bird try to do shit. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. And then Yusuke just kind of blows up and uses his own life energy to beat him.
He used the Vegeta sacrifice move from the Buu arc, and it worked. The difference is, it worked.
Exactly.
That's earned. There's a reason the literal finale to that arc is called Yusuke's Sacrifice. It's not a cheap move. It's literally Yusuke figuring out what he wants to do. He's out of spirit energy, but to protect what he likes and loves with all his heart, he blows himself up.
Yep.
Literally, it says something when it takes 3 arcs for Vegeta to blow up, and you need 1 arc for Yusuke. Also, I just want to point out something. And this is going to be just a little bit of a diss. It's not too bad, but can we just admire how Yu Yu Hakusho uses flashbacks to such a very effective range? Because you can tell many flashbacks nowadays are just like, here's an excuse for a power-up. Yu Yu Hakusho doesn't do that. It's used for fucking character growth. Looking at you, Rayleigh. Looking at you.
Oh. Well, that's because, like, most series nowadays, they're like, okay, well, here's the time where we have to have the flashback. Here's the flashback moment to be like, I have this power up. No, and that's the biggest difference with Yu Yu Hakusho and everything else.
The flashbacks matter.
Yeah, and just like what you were saying, it's more character motivated and driven than technique motivated and driven. And again, I'll say this again, and I will die on this hill too. The only other series right now that's doing that, not to this level, but at least is trying to, is My Hero Academia.
Yeah. Yeah, I
You know.
agree. I shall fight on that hill with you, and then
Yeah.
leave when I get exhausted because I want an orange soda.
That's true. That's true. But so that's more like the emotional and the emotional characteristic growth of this fight. There was some physical aspect that I wanted to point out as well.
Oh, let's
Because
gush over it.
do what?
Let's gush. Let's start gushing.
So, the main thing I'll say is I like how Yusuke's fighting style hasn't really changed, and it doesn't really change too much throughout the series.
Nope.
But what he does is he enhances his fighting style with everything he learns. So you're seeing shit like him using his spirit energy as a shield to block. So he's still doing like his normal blocking things, but he's surrounding himself with like spirit energy. And just like what you said with his shoes, like even the bird parrot is mocking him, being like, rubber shoes, that's not going to stop his lightning, blah, blah, blah. But then he has a fucking shield that he made out of spirit energy in his hands to actually cushion that blow, using bluffs and shit. So like he's using what he's learning in his training to enhance his own fighting style, which is the best way of growing your character in a physical sense after training.
Yeah, he tricks his enemies somewhat into like underestimating him because again, it's like with the rubber shoes. Oh, rubber shoes. Look at this. It's a dumbass kid. He doesn't understand science. And then he blows up his shoes. It's just like a spirit wall blocking the blow, and Yusuke gets that first clean hit in.
Yeah,
Yusuke's technique, like honestly, his fighting style is like just street level, street thug level. But the way he fights, it is kind of like the fighting style of a cop. He's good in close quarters, but he's really good at getting that distance. And Yusuke does try to get that distance to use his spirit gun or the shotgun. It's a very unique style of fighting that's never limited to just like I can only use my fists, or it depends on how I use my fists. No, it's not like that at all. It's actually a lot more complicated, even though the fights in Yu Yu Hakusho are pretty simplistic in some ways.
Yeah.
But again, what makes it's that perfect balance. It's that perfect balance that's like, it's not too complicated, but it is never too simple. But it's very easy to digest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I love about. I mean, you kind of get this in Hunter x Hunter, but then it gets a little convoluted near probably the Chimera Ant stuff, like because how much do you know about Hunter x Hunter?
Enough.
Okay, so there's this one guy who has the power of interest.
Okay.
So like bank interest, like I forgot the name. I forgot the name of his power. It's like I want to say it's IRS. I don't know, but basically
Don't trust the IRS.
Or it's something like that. But like basically, he punches you, and this cute little thing like ends up being next to you, and over time, it like takes in some of your energy. And if you don't expel like enough of that energy, oh my god, it's so weird. It's even breaking my mind just trying to think about it. But it's like shit like that. It's just like it's very complicated. Whereas here, with its earlier work, it's very simplistic, easily to digest, but there's still more to dive into with it because it's so simplistic, you can add so much more character to it.
Yeah. Like, again, there's a reason I called this fight here Luffy versus Katakuri before that fight was even a theme. Before everyone in here is like, what do you mean? Luffy versus Katakuri is absolute perfection. I think you got a lot of his tropes from this because Watkins, let's face it, Yusuke really should not have won against this.
No, not at all.
Like on technical sense, Suzaku was faster, he was stronger, his literal spirit moves outclassed Yusuke by a far margin. Again, there's a reason why Suzaku was regarded as like this leader of infamous thieves in the spirit world.
Yeah.
He was outclassed heavily, but Yusuke's fighting style with the shotgun, using his life energy and using that untapped spiritual pressure, God damn it. Using that
so
untapped
good.
spiritual power. That we're like, there's a reason that's the thing. It's not just linked because teenager themes. It's linked to his character. It's linked to his purpose that we're going to see near the end of the series. So it's like, there's a reason it all fits in there perfectly. It's like the perfect amount of peanut butter being spread on a sandwich. It's never too much. It's never too little. It's just a very satisfying meal. Unless you have a peanut allergy, then I have nothing but my deepest sympathies for you.
Yep. Sorry to those out there who have peanut allergies. We're not pianist.
Good night, everyone.
Oh. But yeah,
Goddamn.
Is there anything else we can add to this? I mean,
aside from being one of those cancerous, pathetic I'm sorry, not YouTuber. Those Twitter accounts. It's like, hey, good morning, watch this. That's all we can stoop to. Just like, if you guys, if you're even remotely interested in seeing how this plays out, I don't know why you just listen to us spoil the whole thing. or I guess I should say, if you need a refresher, check out Yu Yu Hakusho. And this is just actually like I watched the anime for this, not the manga. I really do want to reread the manga again because I have only done that twice so far. I really want to do it a third time. But with the anime, we can agree that like the episode pacing and just like the general rules of storytelling, they are pretty exceptional. You know? It's like nowadays a lot of anime is like, we'll do 3 pages from the manga for 1 episode. No, it's not like that. Yu Yu Hakusho gets shit done. It's only like 112 episodes long, I believe, but oh my god, it does feel like an adventure.
Well, see that's the whole thing. Like even with this arc, like and I guess this is the series as a whole too. Like it has the perfect balance of getting shit done, but also giving time where it needs it.
Yeah. This arc, by the way, you guys may be surprised, but this arc is only 8 episodes long.
Yeah. It's very short. And like, it's not the shortest arc, especially of the stuff I've covered in these arc reviews. Like, I think the first one was like 4 or 5 episodes. I don't know, something like that. But like, there's so much packed into it, but it goes fast enough. It gives you what you need. Doesn't stay too long at some points, but stays long enough for other points.
Yeah, Kurama versus Genbru, 1 episode. Yusuke versus Suzaku, 3 episodes. You may think, what, that's all it was? There's a lot to unpack from it, though, because it you can easily get invested in this story. And my God, the 4 Saint Beasts, it's like a very good refresher. And I think I remember this one YouTube comment that summed it up perfectly. In terms of the team dynamic for Team Urameshi, 4 Saint Beasts, teammate, Dark Tournament, friends, Chapter Black, brothers.
Yep.
It's this perfect evolution of characters and the fight sequences. It's just classic shonen. Like
it is. Like this is
what's wrong with it.
Dare I use that phrase? This is peak shonen.
I'm fine with that. I would save it for Yusuke versus Tagoro, but yeah.
Don't worry.
Especially with Sensui.
When we get there.
But salad insert shonen villain is the best shonen villain. Oh, just wait till we get to Sensui.
No. They're going to shut it when we get to Sensui. I'm gonna say that flat out right now. But all right, well, do you have anything else to add for this fight, or?
I've been standing for how God knows how long, so I feel like I could always add more to this, but I hope that the raw emotion that I was putting out for everyone here was kind of explained it. Why I really like this fight. Really, technically, isn't like the most outstanding, but it's like Goku versus Jackie Chun from the original Dragon Ball. There's reason and there's purpose behind everything. It was a fantastic watch. Again, watch the Genkai motivational speech, if anything. Type that in the YouTube search bar.
Now. Do it. Do it now and then come back to this video.
Oh, okay. I am sitting down. Give
All right,
me
cool.
5 drinks.
Maybe after this, and maybe we'll watch some CBR stuff after this.
No!
Well, don't worry. We have one last quick one that I wanted to at least highlight real quick. So you see Yusuke and Keiko here, but what I want to talk about is the fact that Botan tells Keiko everything.
Oh, you're talking about the ending. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
the ending.
good.
Like this was really good because Yusuke feels bad because he's just like, look, I know I disappeared, ran out of you, blah blah blah. But the fact that Botan told Keiko everything, and Keiko is kind of fine with it. She basically says, look, if you're going on one of these missions again, just let me know. But it's the fact that we're not doing the whole trope of keeping the secret from a lot of people.
Yeah, no, it's very hard to explain this. You know, it's kind of like it's like a superhero story. There's no way after she gets involved with the demon invasion thanks to demon bugs. There's no fucking way you could be able to just be like, oh, no, everyone was high that day.
Yeah,
It's just not doing that shit.
No, we're not doing some Men in Black forgetting your memory bullshit here. No, we're gonna.
That Botan tells her off screen too.
I do too. Like it's one of those things. It's just like we didn't need to see that.
We just need to see the payoff at the end.
Exactly, and I really like how they did it because again, Yusuke is walking with her, and he's just like, look, she's gonna hit me like always. It's gonna be just like all the other times. And he's just like, look, just hit me already. You know, I fucked up. Just hit me. Just do what you normally do. And instead of that, she swerves him, just like, no, it'll be fine. I won't do it on one condition. Just tell me next time you're going on these.
And can we also mention how very mature it was for her to say, like, when you lie to me, it makes me feel like I'm not important to you.
Yes.
Like I'm treated like the stranger, like I'm treated like just some random civilian. I thought I meant more. And then it's just like, I think Yusuke stays silent after that. And I think he realizes like, yeah, I kind of did because I did kind of blow myself up for her at the end.
Yep.
It'd be very insulting if I didn't, acknowledge that.
Yeah. But, and also like as kind of toxic as this relationship kind of is, in some aspects.
Yeah, in some aspects.
But it's nice to see an organic growth with these two.
Yeah. It's
like
it's not the perfect relationship, but you know what? It's better than some of the other ones, and at least it has a good enough ending for these two.
It's not Yukina.
Yeah. But I do have to say, like, it does. This is going to sound very hypocritical for me to say on here. For anyone that does watch me for any of my my One Piece content, just by way to remind everyone, I love One Piece. It's just I will find things to critique about, and there are things I will critique about Yu Yu Hakusho as well. As I stated, around an hour ago before we talk about Suzaku and Yusuke fighting it out. But I will say, in terms of off-screening shit, I'm kind of glad that Botan told Keiko everything off-screen because there was a demon invasion happening. To explain everything in the time they had would kind of go against the purpose. It would actually make more sense story-wise to see her reaction to Yusuke when he got back and when he woke up from his near-death match.
Yeah,
it made sense organically. This is not one of those times where off-screening a fight or important character dialogue goes against the story.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, no, I agree full-heartedly. Also, I also want to make a side comment. I love how Kuwabara faked Yusuke into thinking something happened with Keiko. and Kurama joined in with him.
Yeah, I'm just like, you hear Kurama's like, I'm sorry, Yusuke, he made us to.
All the time, Kurama's just like, that was funny.
Kurama's one of the best boys.
Yep. Oh, my gosh. But yeah,
I just for him.
Okay.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Don't tell me how to feel.
No, objectively, you will be
Oh my gosh. Objectively, subjectively, whatever.
Objectively and subjectively, Sensui's one of the best villains ever. There.
Actually, you would be wrong. Wapple is actually the best shonen antagonist of all time.
Smash cut to me throwing you off a cliff.
Oh. But yeah, we'll talk more about Keiko and Yusuke as they bud into adults.
Yeah, it like, to be fair, their relationship does organically grow from here on out. Like,
oh no, it does.
It starts kind of shitty, but at the end, it's like very organic. Even though near the end, it does take like a sharp turn, and we will get to that. I just can't help saying that. There's a lot of things to love.
There is, I know, but we'll get to them. I promise.
I love this story so much.
It's so good. But as for a final grade for this arc, I was teetering between two. I'm giving it an A-.
Woo!
I was teetering on a B+ because, I mean, after all we said, like, I do like the arc, but it does just kind of, I think because I know all the other shit that happens later on in the story, I'm just like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, it's not like the Saint Beast. Well, at least Suzaku proved that the stakes would be important enough.
Yeah.
But the other three Saint Beasts, depending on who you ask, they may not be the greatest threat. But it was like a very necessary evil for the main cast to fight against, because Yu Yu Hakusho isn't just about like the battles. It's really about the dynamic of the team, because that team dynamic does come into play, and it kind of saves the fucking universe at the end. Like, I mean the Yu Yu Hakusho universe, like the demon world and spirit world. It is kind of that team dynamic at the end that does kind of save everything and not devolve into a massive war. And oh man, like, there's just so much to love here. Yeah. Every time I rewatch the 4 Saint Beast arc, it's like just a very refreshing course to see. Yep, this is why I love these characters. This is why I love the writing. This is why Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite. Not only my favorite shonen story, but just one of my favorite stories in general.
Yeah, and that's why I gave this like an A-, because again, in this latest rewatch, all the things that make this, that people say, oh, this is a masterpiece, I was always like, yeah, this is good. It's fine. No, this is my watch through where I'm just like, this is a fucking masterpiece. And if you don't agree with me, you're a dumbass.
I wouldn't get that far. Again, people are like, if I said like this or else, and they're like, I'm sorry, just don't get to it. Remember, Justin is one of those people that like kind of stopped One Piece after one arc, and I think he didn't even he didn't want to do Dragon Ball Super. It's like, people have tastes, and it's all right to have tastes. It's just like this main video. The purpose of this video for us, I think, is to just go through Yu Yu Hakusho and just be like, hey guys, this is what we fucking loved about it. These are our few critiques about it, but my God, we just want to share our love with all of you.
Yeah. Or hate if you follow the Naruto rewatch arc reviews.
You're getting to the war arc. Do you want my help for that, by the way? Because that's a long one. I don't want you to suffer alone.
Well, the thing is, like, the anime is broken up enough where I can be like, okay, well, because I actually have a guide for it. So it's just like, okay, well, here's the countdown arc. Here's the confrontation arc. Here's the climax arc. And then it's like the Kaguya stuff. Like, it's actually broken up like that.
Yeah.
So, so that won't be too bad. But then there's also like filler arcs in between that. So it's like there's 6 episodes of canon stuff next, and then it's a 20-episode filler arc again.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like, it's well worth it, because not only are you just like, you're aiming towards the final Naruto versus Sasuke duel, you're aiming towards why this all mattered. Boruto.
Yeah.
just to remind everyone, every story I mentioned so far, I loved. It's just I am not afraid to just diss it whenever I want to. I'm just not afraid. But
Boruto is an abortion that should not have been.
I love how every time we do one of these, we just find a new way to just be like, "Fuck you, Boruto."
Yes. Anytime I can shit on Boruto is great, but
yeah. And if you guys are wondering why we hate it, go check out the Doom Mates channel and watch the Boruto Riptide. I'm sorry, I had to do a plug.
No, plug away, because we're nearing the end of the video. So final grade A-. It's a great arc. So then the next arc, the next arc is going to be the introduction of a set of brothers. And as the group tries to save a young spirit lady from being forced to cry pearls.
It's not the weirdest thing that's happened in this story.
No, it's definitely not the weirdest, but take that what you will if you've never seen the series. So, Trevor, I want to thank you for coming on and joining me on this journey of Yu Yu Hakusho greatness.
Wait a sec, we're not done yet. No. We're going through the whole story right now. Welcome to part 2.
Part 12 of our 11,000 part series.
Yes.
This time we are talking about the spirit egg from episode 2.
All right, and that's all the time I have for this. But no, seriously, thank you for having me on. I look forward to when we talk about the Togoro brothers and the greatness that is to come from later.
It won't be the greatness, but it'll be the introduction to greatness.
I'm excited.
It's just a little tease of the greatness. But yeah, a link to Trevor's channel right down below. I'll be sure to have that there. But if you were entertained in any way, shape, or form in this video, don't forget to press that little like button there and subscribe to the channel because, I'm doing these arc reviews of Yu Yu Hakusho. I got some other stuff going on as well. And if you want to tell us how much we're stupid and, saying that Toguro is not the best antagonist, there's a comment section there. You're entitled to it.
They're sensory too.
They're entitled to their opinion, even if it's wrong.
But in all seriousness, everyone, I want everyone to realize if you do not subscribe to Watkins here, if you don't do it, I will haunt you. I'm dead already. That's right. I've been a spirit this whole time.
Exactly.
I haunt Watkins every day, reminding him that Boruto is a thing. I'm obligated as a spirit.
You don't want that, people. You don't want that at all. He will remind you of the thing you hate.
I will remind you all that part 2 of Death Note was good and that Goku threw a senzu bean at Moro. I will haunt you all with that shit.
But, all right. So, as always, people, been your world champion. Catch you guys in the next video.
Peace.